Hello, my name's Claire Marshall, owner of Marshall PR, a marketing and PR company for small and medium-sized businesses. Today I'm going to give you 8 top tips for catching the attention of a journalist with a press release. You might be thinking, why am I the expert on this? Well, for 5 years I was a journalist and I deleted more press releases than I care to remember because they were boring. A good press release can get you great coverage in newspapers and magazines, so it's really worth putting the effort in. So let's get down to the tips. Tip number 1, work out the most exciting part of your story and start there. Don't make this into a novel. And be impartial. Just because you think it's a really good story doesn't mean that the general public will. Tip number 2, put all your time and effort into the intro. If you get the intro wrong, it's going to go straight into the trash folder of the journalist. Tip number 3, for the intro, think who, what, when, where, why. If you can get all these into your first sentence, then you're really telling the story straight away. And this is the way that journalists are taught how to write their intros. Tip number 4, move on and explain the rest of the story and give some more background and detail as you go on. And tip 5, add some quotes. They can really add colour and authenticity to the press release. But don't make your quotes into a sales pitch. You want to sound genuine and relevant. Tip number 6, keep it short. I would suggest no more than 300 words. Enough said. Tip number 7, read it back to yourself. If it sounds like a news story, then you're on to the right track. And tip number 8, send a photo, but just send one photo, not lots of big files, because it's just going to clog up the journalist's inbox and that will just irritate them. Oh, and one more. Don't use exclamation marks. If your story is exciting enough, then it should speak for itself, and certainly don't use exclamation marks in your subject line or your intro. So that's your 8 top tips for catching a journalist's attention with a press release. And if you found this helpful, then I've got more free advice and tips on my blog, The Marketing Box, which you can get to by going to my website. Thanks very much.